Welcome you all for this today's session. In this session, we are going to discuss decision making and branching statement. Okay, this is also one of the important topic, very important topic in C programming. So, the understanding of decision making statement is very essential when we are writing those C program. So, in the last class, in the last session, we discussed few programs, C programs to solve particular problem. So, normally C programs is a set of instructions, set of statement. The statement will execute sequentially one after another if the program doesn't contain any repetitions or any condition to execute the statement. So, in general, normally the statements are program execute in a sequential manner, one after another. Okay, there may be a situation we need to execute some of the statements depends upon certain conditions is match, certain condition match, then only we need to execute some of the statement, or we need to execute some of the statements repeatedly for n number of times. Sometimes we need to execute the statements repeatedly for n number of times. So, during that we need to use a statement, that is conditional statement is also called as branching statement. So, the branching statement and conditional control statements are used to execute certain statements or skip certain statements during the program execution. Okay, let us consider one simple example. Void main I consider two values, int a, b and sum. S and sum is equal to 0. Printf enter the values. Enter the values. Scanf %d address of a and address of b. Okay, now I have read two values. Okay, here sum is equal to a plus b. Sum is equal to a plus b. Okay, now I will consider the problem. Here I am reading the values, two values, I am performing sum and I am printing sum. I have written one statement, that is sum is not possible. So, in this program I need to change the order of execution based on some condition. I need to change the order of execution based on some condition. Now, you consider here I want to add two numbers. I need to add two numbers only when the value of a and b must be positive number. The condition is the value of a and b must be positive number. Then you add this number and print. Otherwise, you display sum is not possible. If in case if I not put any condition, the statements will be executed in a sequential manner. First declaration, print statement, read value, sum, print and print. It will be executed one by one. But now I want to change the order based on some condition. The condition is the values of a and b must be positive number. So, here I will put a condition. The condition is if a greater than 0 and b greater than 0. If this condition is satisfied, then it will print it perform sum of the value a plus b, then it will print the sum value and it will terminate from the program. If in case any one of the value of a and b is negative number, then it will not perform addition, it directly move to print sum is not possible. So here example, if the value a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 71, now here the value will be checked, 10 greater than 0 condition is true and 71 greater than 0 condition is true, then it will perform the addition and it will print and it will terminate from the program. If in case if the value of b is negative -71, now 10 greater than 0 condition will be true, then b greater than 0 condition is false because b is -71 condition is false. So here logical AND operation is used. So 1 0 0 0 means false. So if the condition is false, it will skip this part, and it move to the last statement, that is sum is not possible. Now the order of execution is changed. The order of execution depends upon the condition. The condition is if a greater than 0 and b greater than 0. So this type of statement is called branch statement or decision making statement. So in this class we discuss in this session we are going to discuss different types of branch statement or decision making statement. So C program supports 4 different types of branching statement. Okay, here I already mentioned. Okay, in this program the statement will execute one by one in sequential manner, but the sequence will be changed when this condition is satisfied. So if condition is satisfied, it will execute this statement and it will skip, otherwise it will move to the last statement, that is sum is not possible. So you will see how this program execute and in the online. So now I will execute this program through online editor, and you can see how this program will execute. Okay, now C supports 4 different types of conditional statement. C language supports four types of branching statements. One is if statement. Second one, switch statement. Then third one, conditional operator. We already discussed this concept, condition operator, also called a ternary operator, condition operator. And the fourth one is the go to statement. So once again, these statements are categorized in 2 groups. One is conditional control statement, another one is unconditional branching statement. So this 3 is called conditional control statement. Conditional control statement. conditional control statement, and the last one is unconditional statement. Unconditional statement. Unconditional statement. So, the name itself indicates in if, switch and condition operator, the decision making or decision is performed based on the condition, but in go to statement here the condition will not verified, but branching will be performed. So, C language supports mainly 4 different types of branching statement. One is if statement, switch statement, conditional operators and go to statement. So, first 3 if, switch and condition operators are conditional branch statement, and go to is unconditional branch statement. So, let us go in detail of if statement. Okay. If statement is a powerful statement in C language. It supports the execution of the program unconditionally. Okay, the first statement is the if statement. If statement is a powerful decision making statement. It controls the flow of execution. It controls the flow of execution. It is basically two-way decision making. Two-way decision making. So, the general syntax of if statement is if expression. If expression. So, first the expression will be evaluated. Once the expression is evaluated, if the expression is true, the block of statement will be executed. Otherwise, if condition is false, the block of statement will be skipped. So, the expression may be a combination of arithmetic expression, relational expression and logical expression. Either it may be a relational expression, combination of logical expression. So, expression is a combination of, it may be a combination of arithmetic, relation and logical expression. So, the expression returns two possible values 1 and 0. 1 indicates true and 0 indicates false. So, if condition is true, the statement will execute. If condition is false, the statement will be skipped. So, the general variations, the general syntax we discussed. Now, the flow diagram of the if statement. Entry, test expression, in two-way decision making. There are two possible ways. One is true, false. Okay, the general flow of if condition is entry, test expression. If condition is true, true branch, and condition is false, false branch. Okay, let us consider an example. If num less than 100, the condition, if condition is true, less than 100, so num n is equal to num divided by 10, num divided by 10. Similarly, if balance is greater than amount withdraw amount. Withdraw amount. Similarly, if marks less than 35, printf fail. Similarly, if gender is equal to F means female, Next, similarly, if percentage greater than or equal to 60 and percentage less than or equal to 70, printf first class. Okay, these are the few examples of if statement. So your condition will be evaluate. If condition is true, the corresponding statement will execute. If condition is false, the statement will be skipped. So if is a basic condition statement in C language. See, if statement is a powerful statement in C language to control the flow of execution. So it is a two-way decision making. So it has two alternatives. One is true alternatives, that is if condition is true. Then one more alternative is a false alternate, that is else alternate. If condition is false, the other alternate will be execute. So the general syntax is if expression. The expression, it may be a combination of arithmetic, relation, logical expression. First condition will be evaluate. If condition is true, the corresponding block will execute. If condition is false, the block will be skip. So this is a general syntax, and this is a flow diagram of if statement. So here the entry condition will be verified. If condition is true, the corresponding true block will execute. If condition is false, the true block will be skip, false block will be execute. Okay, this is the flow diagram of if statement. Okay, if statement once again divided into four types. One is simple if statement, if else statement, simple if statement, if else statement, else if ladder, nested if statement. So if basically divided into four types: simple if statement, if else statement, else if ladder, then nested if. So the first one is simple if statement. Okay, simple if statement. The general syntax of simple if statement is if test expression if conditions true true block statement will execute, true block statement, else statement X. So first test expression will be evaluate. If test expression is true, the statement will be execute, that is true block will be execute. If conditions false, the statement will be skip. So here the true block statement will be skip and directly it execute statement X. Okay, this is a general syntax of simple if statement. Okay, this is a flow diagram. Entry, test expression, okay, here expression will be evaluate. If expression is true, then true block statement, it execute true block statements. Then if conditions false, statement X will be execute. If condition is true, even though condition is true, true block will be execute. Later it will move to statement X. And the remaining statements will be evaluated. So after executing the statement X, the remaining statement will be executed. So first the test expression will be evaluated. If expression is true, true block statement will execute. After executing the true block statement, it will move to statement X. Then if condition is false, it move to statement X. So here only one possibility, that is a true possibility. The simple if statement is also called one-way decision making. One-way decision making. Okay, here only one possibility. So the statements in true block, either it may be contains only one statement or it may be a group of statements. So either it may be one statement or group of statements. So here one important thing we need to understand here, if the true block contains only one statement, the brackets optional. So here in the syntax I have mentioned brackets. So if it is only one statement, this bracket is optional. If it is more than one statement, now then the statement must be present within the bracket. So here if block contains only one statement, brackets are optional. If it is more than one statement, then the statement must be present within pair of brackets. Okay, let's consider one example program. Okay, the problem is find the square root of the number So here I will set a condition. Condition is number must be positive. Number must be positive number. If it is positive number, then only we need to find the square root. If the number is not a positive number, then directly display square root is not possible. So here the condition is the number must be a positive number. So I'll start with main function. Main. So the square root is always the fractional values. So that's why I'll read float number itself as an input. Float num comma sq means square root is equal to 0.0. Printf enter the value slash n scanf percentage f. So percentage f is because here I am reading the floating point value. So real value. So real value percentage f, then address of num. Address of num. Okay. Now I need to check whether the value of num is greater than 0 or not. If it is greater than 0, then the number is positive number. If the number is less than 0, then the number is negative number. So here I will put the condition. The condition is if num greater than 0. If num greater than 0 means it is a positive number, then I will calculate SQ is equal to SQRT of num. SQRT num. So here SQRT is the built-in function for finding square root of the number. So if you want to use SQRT function, we need to include one header file. The header file is math.h. So to use SQRT function, we need to include math.h. So that's why I include math.h. Now printf square root is equal to percentage f SQ. Then exit. So it will exit from the program. If in case if your number is negative number, then this statement must be skipped. Then I need to print printf square root is not possible. It is not possible, then close bracket. Okay, here I will read the value, floating point value, then here I will check whether the value is greater than 0. Greater than 0 means the number is positive number. If the number is negative number, the value will be less than 0. So here if the number is greater than 0, then it will calculate the square root of the number by using the built-in function SQRT. So SQRT it will check, then after calculating the square root, it will display the square root value, and here I have used one function called exit. Exit means it will terminate from the program. So when it it executes the exit function, then this statement, printf statement is square root is not possible statement will be skipped. So here if condition is true, these statements will be executed. If conditions false, this statement will be skipped and the last statement will be executed. Okay. Here if check one condition, then one weight decision. There is only one possibility. The possibility is square root calculation. If condition is true, it will calculate the square root. If condition is false, it will skip from the program. Okay. Let's see how this program executes. Okay. Just now I explained the program to find the square root of the positive number. Okay, when we are checking a positive number, we need to check the input value is a positive number or negative number. So in order to check the positive number or negative number, here there is a simple logic. The logic is if num greater than 0. If the value of num is greater than 0, then the number is positive number. If the number value is less than 0, then the number is negative number. So here we are checking the value of num, whether the value of num is greater than 0. If this condition is satisfied, these statements will be executed, means line number 12, 13, 14 will execute. So if this condition is false, so this statement 12, 13, 14 will be skipped and it will execute the statement 16. Okay. Here I already execute the program by entering 12, so it has a display the calculation of square root is not possible. So I will execute again. Okay, now my input value is 81. My input value is 81. Now 81 is a positive number, so it will display square root of 81 is equal to 9. So means if this condition is true, it will execute this statement, and if condition is false, it will skip this statement and execute the last statement, that is 13. Okay, now I'll execute again. Here I am entering the value minus 8. Minus 8 is an input number, so it is a negative number. So once I enter this number, it will display calculation of square root is not possible because the entered number is a negative number. So here I have declared two variables, num and sq. Sq is the output variable for calculating square and num is the input variable. So both variables are of type float. So here the condition line number 10 contains the condition. Here if block contains 3 statements, so this statement is present within the square bracket. So these three statements are present in the inside the bracket, because if it is only one statement, brackets are optional, but it has 3 statements, so it is enclosed within pair of brackets. Okay, now this is the program for finding square root of a positive number. The next statement is the if-else statement. So if-else statement is an extension of simple if statement. If-else statement is the extension of simple if statement. So simple if statement is a one-way decision, but if-else statement is a two-way decision statement. Two-way decision making. Two-way decision making. Here there are two alternates. If test expression, if condition is true, If conditions true, it will execute true block statements. If conditions false, it will execute else block statement. So there are two options. One is true option, other one is false option. So if condition is true, it will execute the true block and it will skip the else block, it directly move to statement X. Statement X. If condition is true, the test expression is true, it executes the true block, then it will skip else block statement and directly move to control directly transferred to statement X. If condition is false, the true block statement will be skipped, and the control is transferred to else block. So here, if condition is true block statements will be executed and control transferred to the statement X. If condition is false, true block statement will be skipped and the control is transferred to else block statement. Immediately it executes the statement X. Okay, that's why this statement is called two-way decision statement, because it has two options. One option is true statement, another one is else block statement. If condition is true block will be executed, else block will be skipped. If condition is false, true block will be skipped and else block statement will be execute. So if any one of this statement execute, immediately statement X will be execute. Okay, this is a general syntax of if else statement. Next is the flow statement. Here first test expression. It has two options, two alternates. One alternate is true alternate and false alternate. If the condition is true statement will execute, that is true block statement. True block statements. If condition is false, else block statements. So if any one of this statement executes, then the control is transferred to statement X. The control is transferred to statement X. Okay. If else statement is the extension of simple if statement. So simple if statement is a one-way decision statement. If else statement is two-way decision statement, because in simple if statement only one alternate. In if else statement there are two alternates. One alternate is a true alternate, another alternate is a false alternate. So if condition test expression is true, it will execute a true block. If condition is false, it execute the else block. So here, if any one of the conditions satisfied, one set of statements will be skipped. Either true statements will be skipped or false statement will be skipped. That is depends upon the test expression. If test expression is true block execute, else block will be skipped. If condition is false, else block will execute and true block will be skipped. So if any one of the statement execute, immediately statement X will be executed. Okay, this is a flow diagram of if else statement. Next, let's take an example program. The problem is problem to check the number is even or odd. Check whether the number is even or odd. Okay. Now, in order to check even or odd, we need one number. So, void main. So, input is one number and output is the statement saying that the number is even number or odd number. So, int num is the input. So, printf enter the values, enter the value, scanf %d, because the number is integer number, %d address of num. Now, here we need to check the number. Whether the number is even number or odd number. So, in order to check the even number or odd number, there is a condition. The condition is the number which is modulus by 0. And the remainder is 0, then the number is even number. If the number modulus by 0 and remainder is 1, then the number is odd number. So, when you modulus the number by 2, if the remainder is 0, then the number is even number. If the remainder is non-zero, then the number is odd number. So, here I put a condition. The condition is num modulus 2. Num modulus 2 is equal to 0. Num modulus 2 is equal to 0. Then printf given number is even number. Else if condition is false, printf given number is odd. Then close. So, here I will read one number. After reading the number, I will check whether the number is modulus by 2 is equal to 0. If condition is true, printf the given number is even number, otherwise the given number is odd number. So, you observe carefully, here I have not included the brackets, I have not written the brackets, because if block contains only one statement and else block also contains only one statement. If the statement contains only one, if the block contains only one statement, then brackets are optional. If it is more than one statement, you can include, we need to include the bracket, means the block of statement must be present within pair of brackets. Okay. Here the if block and else block contains only one statement, so here brackets are not included, means brackets are optional. Okay, let's consider one input. Now my input is 9. 9 modulus 2 is equal to 1, because remainder is 1. Now 1 is equal to 0, condition is false. If condition false, it display printf the given number is odd number. If in case this number is 8 modulus 2 is equal to 0, 0 is equal to 0, condition is true. If condition is true, it will display the number is even number. Okay. Now I will write the flow diagram for this program. Here, if num modulus 2 is equal to 0. Num modulus 2 is equal to 0. Print even number. Else print odd number. Then this statement is n because any one of the statement execute okay. If conditions true, it will print even number and exit. If conditions false, print odd number, then exit. So first read the number, read the number, test conditions true. If true block will execute, that is print even number, else odd number. After that, it will move to end statement. Okay, this is an example for if else statement. Okay, let's execute this program online. Just now explain the program to find the given number is even number or odd. So in order to check the number is even or odd, simple logic, the logic is if num modulus by 2 is equal to 0. If the number modulus by 2 is 0, then the given number is even number. If the number is not modulus by 2, the number is odd number. Means if the remainder is not 0, then the number is odd number. So here I enter the number 8. 8 is a positive number. It is 8 is a positive number. So if I enter the 8, the 8 will be modulus by 2. So 8 perfectly divided by 2, then the remainder is 0. Once the remainder is 0, then it will display the given number is even number. Okay, if you enter the number 8, so the remainder of this number is 2, then the number is even number. In case if I enter the number 11, so when you enter the 11, so 11 modulus 2 remainder is 1, so the number is not a number, is a odd number. So when you enter the number is perfectly modulus by 2, means if the remainder is 0, then the number is even number. If the remainder is non-zero, then the number is odd number. So here if contains only one statement and else also contains only one statement. So here brackets are optional, so I have not included the brackets in this statement. So the statement is present in the line number 9 without bracket. So here line number 9 contains the statement printf. It is only one statement in the if block. Okay, let's consider one more program. Find largest of two numbers. So here also we need to read two elements, then we need to check whether the first number is larger than second number or second number is larger than the first number. So there are two alternates. One alternate is A is large and second alternate is B is large. So one alternate is A is large and second alternate is B is large. So in order to find largest of two numbers, we need two inputs, input A and B. Input A and B. Okay. Output is a statement. Output is a statement by displaying A is great or B is great. So printf enter the values for A and B. A and B, scanf %d, address of A and address of B. Here we verify the value of A and B. So if we need to check the condition is whether the value of A is greater than B. So condition is A greater than B. If condition is true, means the value of A is greater. So printf A is big. Else printf B is big, then close. So here the condition, if A greater than B. If condition is true, printf A is big, else print B is big. Two alternates. One is if alternate, and here if statement contains only one statement, and else also contains only one statement. So here brackets are optional. If it is more than one statement, so we need to write the statements within the bracket, but here only one statement, so brackets are optional. So I have not written brackets in this program. Okay, let's write a flow chart for this program. So first is the start, then read the value, A and B, then we need to check the condition, that is A greater than B. So Rambo symbol if A greater than B. Two alternates, one alternate is true alternate. So here I will display print A is big. If condition is false, print B is big. There are two alternates. So one alternate is true alternate and else alternate. So after executing the true or false statement, the control is transferred to N. Okay, this is a flow chart for finding largest of two numbers. So here the two alternates. So if else statement is the extension of simple if statement. So in simple if statement only one possibility, but in else if else statement there are two alternates. One alternate is a true alternate, another alternate is a false alternate. So if condition is true, true block will execute. If condition is false, else block will be executed. So only one statement executes at a time. So after executing any one of the statement, it will move to the statement X. Okay, in this program, after executing the true block statement or else block statement, it will move to the end of the program. Okay. Now execute this program in the online. So let's see how this program execute and what will be the output by for the given inputs. Okay. Here is the program for finding the largest of two numbers. So in this program, A and B are the input values, input variables. So here we get a value for A and B. After reading the values for A and B, we check whether the value of A is greater than B. If the value of A is greater than B, the condition is true, then it will display A is big. If condition is false, it will display B is big. So here I will enter the value 8 and 6. So the value of A is 8 and value of B is 6. So here A 8 greater than 6, condition is true, then it display A is big. Run again. So now I'll enter the value of A is 7 and the value of B is 19. So here the value of A is 7 and value of B is 19. 7 greater than 19 condition is false. So once this condition is false, it will display B is big. So here only one statement in if block and one statement in else block. So here also brackets are optional. So brackets is not required because if statement contains only one, if block contains only one statement and else block also contain only one statement. So this is the program for finding largest of two numbers.